Expressed by the guests and contributors on Conklin and Company are not necessarily those of 13 ABC. Now, Conklin and Company continues with Take 3, commentary and analysis from our panel of political contributors.
Welcome back, everyone. It is time for Take 3 for the first time on Conklin and Company, and this set in many, many years. Mike Beasley, former Democratic Party chair.
It's been a good while.
It has been, I believe, Toledo Up Front might have been the last.
I used to spend a lot of time in this room on the old Toledo Up Front show.
You really did, and now the city administrator in Oregon. Is taught over at the University of Toledo, right?
That's right. I was a county administrator for years, and so I was an old political hack for many decades. For about 15 years, I've kind of stepped to the policy side and been a political observer, so it's been a little more fun.
An observer of the political arena, not only in the city, but the county and the state, and of course the country, which is in a volatile state right now as well, so to speak. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty, if we can, Mike, about the mayor's race. There have been 432,000 forms.
And I'm a little miffed because I scheduled one in my backyard and neither candidate appeared. It's the only one they missed, so I feel very dissed.
But a number of debates leading up to Tuesday, 2 days away now. How has all this played out, this campaign, this race, in your eyes as a political observer?
Well, I'll tell you about 10 o'clock Tuesday night, all right? But between now and then...
You'll be right at that time.
Well, maybe. With the Board of Elections, you never know. Maybe it'll be about midnight. Ultimately, this has been a strange year for us because winning elections is about building coalitions, and they're usually fairly predictable. Each side kind of has a clue about who they're trying to assemble for their voters, and you have a notion about who they're going to be. This side, most of us are still guessing. I probably haven't seen coalitions assembled like this in the last 25 years, where you might have almost all of organized labor assembling behind one candidate, but you'll have most of, let's say, African-American voters voting for another. Right. You have a lot of past Republican leadership with the African-American voters and the mayor. Right. You have another group of sort of Republican independent leaders with the other one. So it's a very unusual coalition. Probably 1981 was the last time this happened, when Doug DeGood beat Cardi Finkbeiner in that kind of very, very tight election. So we're all kind of surprised at where it's gone so far. And what's unusual about it as well is the kind of the lack of hard polling data that's out there.
Yes, really, I haven't heard too much.
Each of these candidates comes from an independent background, has never really been part of a real organized party structure, and the parties really aren't that organized in any event this year.
But there has been some outside polling, and we are hearing some numbers, and those numbers have Mike Collins.
Yeah, almost all the independent, I don't want to quite call it independent, let's just say it, you use the right term, outside polling, shows Mike Collins ahead. One of the things about doing polling in 2013, though, it's a little different business than just a few years ago. Right now, the traditional lower-cost polling method, people are dialing and calling people at home. Well, not everyone's answering the call at home now. People are on cell phones. There's a different group of people who answer a home phone line than in years past. So casual external polling isn't reliable, and I wouldn't rely on it. As I used to say,
pollsters don't have your cell phone number.
They don't have that number, and so the new modern polling is a combination of landline, internet. There's a variety of ways of attacking it, and so that I used to say that I have a high opinion of my own opinion, but I never rely on it in matters of importance. I rely on grown-up polling. And
what about experience and gut?
That's all well and good, but ultimately, database decision-making usually wins elections.
Signs.
I don't care about signs. I mean, that's fine if you want to do it. It feels good. But you see this election, you see the candidates really out, each kind of appealing to their niches, each talking about many of the same things. And it'd be hard for most Toledo voters right now to tell you what policy differences they have. There's nuanced difference about who's mad at one or who's mad at the other.
We're pretty close to it, though. And those who watch it closely could see there's a clear delineation.
That's correct. But most voters tell you that difference. So that right now, I think that the election is still up in the air as we get to the final hours. I think that Mike Collins has surprised most observers, but I think most of us think he's ahead right now. Where 6 months ago, most people like me were saying Mike Bell's going to win this race, and everyone else is just.
But we've also learned not to doubt Mike Collins because he has, I think, become the comeback kid.
Or Mike Bell.
Well, I don't think Mike Collins, too, a couple of years ago. I think some people, when he was running for mayor in the primary, didn't expect him to to finish as well as he did.
That's right. I think Mike Collins is in the lead today, and I think that most people 6 months ago wouldn't have predicted that.
Right.
And so he has gone out and hustled and connected with people.
Tireless worker.
He has played a very low-key, matter-of-fact, bulldog, stay-ahead focus on it. And it's been kind of an interesting and unusual campaign with very different coalitions for us as we look forward.
How about the money going forward the next 2 days, the saturation of ads we may see?
I think I think that Mike Bell has raised more money, but Mike Collins might have some more outside dollars coming in at the end, and you guys have the best measure of that as you look at it as you come through it, so it's kind of fun in that regard. So I'm looking forward to seeing the results election night. And I think that whoever ends up as being mayor will find a way to a path forward, something that we can survive.
Oh, it'll be fun to watch on Tuesday night. I have a hunch you'll have a good seat.
I'll have a good seat
Wherever that may be on Tuesday night. Mike Beasley, thank you so much.
It's
Good
fun.
to see you again.
All right, thank
Have
you.
come back.
I'll come
on
back.
Conklin
I'll come
and
back and
Company.
bother you.
Make it a good Sunday, everybody. We'll see you next week on Conklin and Company, and be sure to vote Tuesday. Take care.